This is Professor L.B.Gayakawad's English Literature Web. I am Professor L.B. Gayakawad is teaching today the topic non-verbal communication. This is my lecture 318 and part 4th. Remember here, before going to the topic, I will request you to watch, like, subscribe and share my YouTube channel. Again, the second request I will do is that I have put all these notes in the description box. So you are requested to see all the notes in the description box. Now we are going to the topic. We saw some aspects of the non-verbal communication in part 3. Now we are going to see the next aspects as follows. The first is touch, that is touching. So touch means we go to that person and we touch the body of that person, means we touch the hand. Suppose we touch the clothes of that man, we can touch the I will say backside of his body. Means these type of actions or this type of gestures, I will say, are the body postures, or I will say these are the examples of the non-verbal communication. Through touch, means through touching, we can express our emotions on a large scale. Remember, the touch point is here very much important, by which we can explain our desires and feelings on a large scale. The touch is different from age to age. Remember, the touch is the point which differs from the age to age. It means that if the child is there and if the biscuit is there in the hand of the child and we are going to touch that biscuit, that child cries so loudly. Means these are the gestures here, I will say, and these gestures change from age to age. That is the point. Means the gestures change if the boy is there, and the gestures change if the girl is there. Means male and female are very much important in the sense of the gestures. Then these gestures change as per ages. Their status, means if the film star is there, the gestures are very different. Then if the closeness is there, then it is quite possible that the gestures are very different. And cultural background is there, then the touches are again very different. For example, we will see, as per cultural point of view, someone touches our shoulder or back, we understand that the person wants to ask us some question, something he wants to ask. Means it is there in the mind of that person. He wants to ask us some matter, something, and that's why he touches our body. Means the touch shows the feelings and desires of that particular person. The touch is a natural action. Remember, the touch is the natural action, means it has come to man by nature, by God. So that's why there are the examples of the touching are, the first is kissing, then handshaking, then congratulation, then pushing somebody as threatening. Means when there is the I will say very much intimate relation, then there is the point of kissing. Then if again there is the intimate or suppose the closeness, then there is the point of handshaking. And then if somebody has owned something, then there is the point of the congratulation. And if we are hitting somebody, then we push that gentleman away from us, and that is the point of giving the threatening or fear. This touch speaks with others about our feelings without verbal speech. Means here, when we touch somebody, then we do not speak or we do not write, and still the communication happens, and that's why it is called the non-verbal communication. If we use this aspect wrongly, then it becomes killing to us. So we should use it positively and culturally. Remember, touching is the particular point which is very much serious, because if we use this point very wrongly, then what happens? It becomes our loss. And that's why we should use this point, or this, I will say, not point but the touching. This is the natural thing in us. So we should think of touching very properly, because this can turn to us and it will be our loss. Now the next non-verbal example is proximity. So what is proximity? Proximity means very much nearness, means there is the very much near relation between two persons, or if that relation is very near relations or close relation, that is called the proximity. So now we are discussing about the proximity. Proximity is known through saying, I will say, saying leg movements, then we can show their swaying. Swaying means, I will say, moving slowly and rhythmically, means some persons are there who walk on the road also very rhythmically or very slowly. Then the actions of their legs are also very much typical, that is the leg movements. Again, there is the movement of tapping, means we tap something, means we gain something from something, that is called the particular tapping. Then gazing is there, means we gaze, that is also the non-verbal communication example. So these are the important examples by which we can show the proximity. This proximity should have an easy distance for communication. Remember, when we are communicating, or when two persons are communicating, there should be the particular, I will say, there should be the easy distance for the particular communication. Otherwise, the communication will not happen. Increasing proximity cooperates to form better eye contact with free behavior. Means the point is that if the proximity is increasing or is going up or developing, then this proximity helps to form the better eye contact with the free behavior. Means these two persons become very much familiar with each other, they become their friends, and the nearness is formed between them. It means the proximity creates nearness between the persons. This nearness or proximity is shown with space, distance, touch, and body position. If you are a famous figure in society, your proximity shall be of 4 types, I will say, which are said as publicly, means you are publicly famous, and that's why your proximity will be different in public. Then socially, you are socially very famous, so that proximity will be very much different type of proximity from other persons. Then personally, your proximity will be very different, and intimately it will be very different with people. There should be the limitations to proximity to keep ideal relations. Remember, the proximity is the nearness, closeness. So there should be the particular limitation to the proximity. Otherwise, that relation will not be the ideal relation. Nowadays, this proximity is banned by the government due to this corona, because remember, this is our lecture, it is in the period of the corona. And that's why we have taken here the example of the corona, that in the period of this corona also the proximity has been banned by the government, and so we are keeping the social distancing between each other. Now the next point we are discussing is silence. Being suspicious, silence is positive and negative. So remember, if some person is silent, then we cannot understand what is running in his mind. So if he is thinking positively or negatively, we exactly cannot understand, and that's why there is the suspiciousness in the character of that person, because he is silent. The students are silent while learning, and the teacher cannot know they have learned or confused. Remember, here the point is that the teacher is teaching in the class, earnestly suppose, and the students are very much silent. So the teacher is also confused in the class, because he cannot understand if the students are getting his point or not, because the students are silent. Because silence is the particular thing which creates the suspicion or doubt in the mind of the person, and that's why this is the very much typical, I will say, gestures of our body. It comes from Albert, that is Albert, I will say, Albert Mehrabian's. This is the particular term which has come from this Albert. He has done the research on it. Albert says persons listen silently and learn more than speaking and writing. Remember, according to Albert, this is the best quality of man, or posture of man, because man should listen silently, because such persons listen very silently according to Albert, and they speak more and write more in life. Now the next point is personal appearance. The personal appearance means the personal looking from outside, means how man looks, that is the personal appearance. The personal appearance speaks with men with our dress, means there are the dresses, and these dresses show the personal appearance. Then haircut means the style of the hairing is also the particular appearance of that person, and then we can understand. Ornaments, if there are the ornaments, then we can say that this person is very rich. Makeup, that makeup also shows the appearance of the person. Belt, if he has dressed the I will say his suit pant with a belt, then we can understand that this gentleman is the rather I will say a professional man. Then if there is the bracelet there with him, or supposed rounded around his hand, then we can understand that this person is the rather different type of person. This appearance increases man's impression in social functions attended by him. The appearance tells us that the person is a doctor, suppose actor, suppose a police, and advocate. Sometimes when the clothes are very dirty or torn, then we can say this is the beggar. If the typical type of dress is there on his body, we say this is the saint. And through all these personal appearance, we can understand the social status of these persons. And my point is that this is known as disregarded. Disregarded means what? Now the point is that if the personal appearance is rather different type of, and we are not respecting that person, then it is quite possible that this is the disregarded, as people easily know us through our personal appearance. Because as we do our personal appearance, people easily understand our thoughts or our character personality, and that's why it is called disregarded, I will say. So here today we have finished the topic. Again we will be in front of us with a new topic. Till then, thank you very much.